Greetings and welcome to Smartwatch Tips. You're about to see how you can take your smartwatch that accepts a SIM card as a standalone watch and not only be able to do phone calls and texting, but actually get 3G connectivity on the internet. Now, what I'm showing you is specific because it's carrier dependent and it's country dependent, but the concept applies across the board. We're going to be looking at AT&T as the carrier, and we're going to be looking at the USA as the country, because that's where I'm at, and that's what these watches are set up to work with. First of all, you need to make sure from your carrier that it'll support these kind of watches. It has to be using a specific kind of a network, and it has to use certain frequencies on that network, and on and on. Once you've verified all of that, what I'm going to show you here is how you set up your watch. In this case, we're using the GSM network on AT&T in the frequency band of 1900 megahertz. Most of the time, these watches that come from China are set up at 2100 megahertz. They don't work in the USA. But the newest ones, the Android 5.1 Square watches, of which you're looking at the Finaal Q1 and the number 1 D6, these two particular watches do work. Here's the deal. When you go into the watch and you go into settings, you notice that there's something called SIM cards. If you don't have a SIM card in it, it's grayed out. You can't go into it. Also, if you go to connect, you'll notice cellular networks. If there's no SIM card, it's grayed out as well. You can't do anything with it. So, this particular watch, which does not have a SIM card in it right now, cannot be programmed. So we're going to set it aside. That was to show you what it doesn't do. What it does do, if you have the SIM card in it, I'll display on the D6. We're going to go in here. I'm going to go into settings. The first thing is the SIM card is lit up. If I touch that, it shows you the phone number of the SIM card that's installed and some various carrier stuff that's set automatically. In this case, AT&T, all the way along the line for making phone calls and MMS and SMS and all of that stuff. We don't need to go in there for creating the data connection. Where we need to go is into Connect and into Cellular Networks. We have a data connection through here, and we want to go into this thing called access point names. An access point is something that lets your phone, in this case a phone in a watch, talk to the internet. It's an access point. You talk to that point, the point talks to the internet, and you've got connectivity. The deal is these watches that are shipped all around the world don't have programmed the access points for every location on Earth. In fact, they only have basically one. It's called Singular 410, and it looks like this. When you go into it, it's got a name and an APN type, proxy port. Now, don't get overwhelmed. You don't need to know any of this stuff, okay? I am about to show you just what you need to know to get yourself on the air, working in the United States, running AT&T, as long as your data program, your data plan will provide the service. And that's by setting up an AT&T phone APN. You would do that by hitting this plus button at the top. When you hit that button, you get into the data entry fields, which just simply lets you enter the data that you see here. Now, it's really tiny on the watch. I'm going to show it to you. Then I'm going to show it to you on a piece of paper, which refers to the website where you can actually read this from AT&T and just follow along and do it. You change the name or create the name here as ATT phone, just like you see. The APN is phone and the APN type is default. Your proxy, not set. Your port, not set. Your username, not set. Password, not set. I told you it's going to be easy. Server, not set. These are the two most important things that you're going to want to set. It's the MMSC and the MMS proxy. I'll show you those closer up in a moment. The MMS port is 80, the MCC is 310, and the NC is 410. That's all you need to know. Authentication type not set. APN protocol is IPv4. I think that's automatically there. And the same thing for the roaming. And the bearer is unspecified. And that's it. So the thing that you want to know is the name, the APN, and these two fields down here. That's your actual access point that you're going to need. So what does it look like? Here's what it looks like. From the article that you'll find on the web by searching on programming non-at&t devices with the correct APN and MMS data settings. That's the article name. You scroll down and there's little drop-down windows for Android, iOS, tablets, all that stuff. When you click on the one for Android, this is what you get. And this is the data. I just copied and pasted it here for you. This is what you saw in the fields. And this is that MMSC and MMS proxy right here. Simple. It's a web address, http://mmsc.mobile.att.net. All right? The proxy is proxy.mobile.att.net. The numbers again, 8310 and 410. And there you have it. That's the data you need to put in right here when you're doing the access point. Okay? When it's there, you come back and you make sure you got the dot selected on that so that the ATT phone APN is selected. We come back. I am in my Connect, right, from my settings. I'm going to verify that my Bluetooth is off and take it offline for a second. Yep, my Wi-Fi is also off. You see that? And my cellular network is set up for data connection. So the only way I could possibly talk to the internet right now would be through data. And let's go down and just bring up the Play Store. Google Play Store, loading, activating, and I'm online at 3G speeds from the SIM card inside the phone. All right? Again, this works right now in the USA on AT&T with either the FiNow Q1 or the number 1 D6 watch, and that's all you need. From there on, it just ticks against your standard data plan, and in AT&T, if you're in the family plan, it's just another device. You can probably add it on if you wanted to get a separate SIM for it for maybe $10 a month or so as an alternate device. It's not a tablet, it's not a phone. I think they have a category for that. Program that APM. Enjoy surfing the web. Thanks for watching Smartwatch Ticks. We got more to come. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We'll see you soon.